Hi, this is Chico Resch. You are listening to the Let's Go Devils podcast on the Primetime Radio Network.
Happy Devils Tuesday. This is Game Day Live. A happy 2025 NHL free agent frenzy. I'm your host, Sam Wu, going solo for the moment. Streaming live on Facebook Live, YouTube Live, X Live, and Twitch on the Let's Go Devils Network. Coming to you live from the bunker. Yes, inside the bunker, an undisclosed location, beautiful New Jersey. As I see familiar faces filing in on the YouTube Live right now at Let's Go Devils. Wow. This is the most wonderful time of the year, folks. Glad to be back. Took a little hiatus. Did a couple podcasts here and there. About to go on vacation in a few days, but I figured I'd get a podcast in midday. Possibly Vinnie Parise may be showing up a little bit later. He's at the Blackhawks development camp in Chicago for the hockey news. So he's going to try to squeeze us in. But yeah, it's, it's been a while. It's been a while, folks. It almost sounds like a Woo report, but it's Game Day Live. And it's the start of free agency. There was some news, and we'll get to that in a few moments. There was some news earlier last week into Sunday. A couple signings. We'll get into that very soon. But yeah, it feels good to be a Devils fan. I love the summer reset. Florida Panthers winning the Stanley Cup back-to-back, 3 Stanley Cup Finals appearances. They are now the model for the NHL, for the league. It's a copycat league, folks. It always has been and always will be. The Tampa Bay Lightning taking the first 2 Stanley Cups, 2020 and 2021. The Colorado Avalanche snuck in there, winning the Stanley Cup. The Vegas Golden Knights winning the Stanley Cup. And now the Florida Panthers back-to-back. And they made some signings. They made some great signings, retaining the big 3, Ekblad, Marchand, signing for 6 years, Marchand, and Sam Bennett, no relation to me. They're going to go with this crew. Whatever works. Bill Zito is going to, he's a ballsy GM, is what Nick Villano of pucksandpitchforks.com has said. He's a ballsy GM. And Tom Fitzgerald, the New Jersey Devils GM, he's at the point of his tenure with the New Jersey Devils. He's either put up or shut up. And he was very adamant what he was going to do in his final press conference after the season ended, that he was cleaning house, specifically the bottom 6. And the league also has also announced the collective bargaining agreement, which needs to be ratified by the owners, the Board of Governors. Some rule changes. We'll get to that a little bit later. But also, what will the Devils do? What will the Devils do? And they've already made some signings. And, a new feature that we have here on Free Agent Frenzy. Breaking news about 20 minutes ago, Connor Brown of the Edmonton Oilers has signed with the New Jersey Devils. good bottom six winger for the New Jersey Devils. Also, Jake the Snake Allen. Wow, did some teams get snake bitten? Eyeing on Jake the Snake Allen signing with New Jersey. A multi-year deal. I'm not sure how long, how really realistic this deal is. I believe it's 5 years, a 1.8 AAV. I don't have, my phone's not working right now. Of course, always on live air, it just seems like. It always seems like that. But that's okay. Just bear with me. Little technology snafu. Also, Cody Glass and Luke Hughes receiving qualifying offers. Now, Cody Glass, it's interesting. It's interesting. Last couple weeks, there was some talk about Cody Glass not being qualified. I believe it was Elliot Friedman that I believe he was the one that spoke about it on his podcast. And, it's interesting because when these things get leaked out, it was amazing. Rumors are that a lot of teams were interested in Cody Glass. And then maybe, just maybe, Tom Fitzgerald has an open ear and said, okay, let's pull back. Let's give him a QO and get him back to New Jersey. And I like Cody Glass. I like that trade last season. Again, he took the brunt of that that hit in the groin area, I believe during the playoffs. But anyway, so that's what we have so far. Lots of action in the National Hockey League. Mitch Marner, the big news yesterday, sign and trade. He gets his full 8 years. Full 8 years. Signing with Toronto and then being traded to the Vegas Golden Knights. Golden Knights get an elite winger. Again, part of their team. Look, the Golden Knights, they're always a perennial Stanley Cup contender. They're always in it. That's a good deal for the Golden Knights. Ted saying that Corey Perry, who is 105 years old, signs with the LA Kings. Yes, a 1-year deal. Also, Dubs Lake says, I hope Connor Brown is ready to play with 2 AHL guys on his line. We need 4 or 5 more forwards. The roster is still screwed. Yeah, but I'll go back to Ted's comment earlier. The Devils do not make the playoffs without Markstrom and Allen, the tandem, especially given how the team was wrecked with injuries. Before Edmonton found out how important goaltending is. Depth at goaltending is extremely important. Sorry about the camera feed, folks. Things are just a little bit wonky right now. But, hey, we're still live, and still talking Devils hockey. Yeah, look, Jake Allen was going to command some decent money elsewhere. Jake Allen, when Markstrom went down with injury last season, Jake Allen was that 1B, as what you would expect from your backup goaltender. He played brilliantly. The team at times did not, but goaltending was not an issue. And this is a key signing for the New Jersey Devils and Tom Fitzgerald. And here's why. You want stability on that goal line in net. You want that stability. The Devils, for many years, after Marty Brodeur, Corey Schneider, the continuity, the stability in net was simply not there up until last season. 2 veteran goaltenders. Both you had to trade for. Getting Markstrom, which, by the way, Kevin Ball, congratulations on your long-term deal in Calgary. But they had to trade Kevin Ball away to get Markstrom. And the year before that, when the Devils got Jake Allen from Montreal, great tandem, worked well together. And I think this signing really hurts the Edmonton Oilers. I mean, they want goaltending, and Devils said no. Devils credit Tom Fitzgerald and their staff understanding where the market is, understanding the value of these players that they've signed. Sometimes one player is more valuable to another team. I'm glad they didn't go after Vitek Vanacek. Although I wouldn't mind having him as a permanent e-bug, just in case. But anyway, great signing with Jake Allen. I'm happy with that. Connor Brown, 4-year, $12 million contract with the New Jersey Devils. Again, bottom 6. The bottom 6. It was the bottom 6 back a couple years ago that helped the Devils get by the New York Rangers in that first round. Ted saying, I was bullish on Mercer. Hopefully he can rebound. Is Dawson Mercer trade bait right now? Could he be traded? That's a good question. Let me know what you think. What's Tom Fitzgerald going to do next? Is he going to make a bigger splash? Is he going to continue to rebuild the bottom 6? What do you do with Andre Palat and that big fat contract? Also, July 1st, Dougie Hamilton, another player being rumored, possibly. Both Palat and Hamilton. Palat and Hamilton, the no-trade clause now is down to 10 teams. So they kind of have a full control. Well, they don't have full control. Sorry, I lost my train of thought here because I'm reading text at the same time. Shame on me. But they don't have full control of their destiny. Now it's limited to 10 teams. What could those 10 teams be? Dubs is like, quick, Sam, buy a Palat jersey online right now. I might have to do that. The inside joke is with this podcast is anytime I buy a jersey, like my John Marino jersey or Victor Kozlov jersey, years past, Stefan Richer, the players leave the New Jersey Devils. Somehow, and I always pay full price for it too, which is insane. Brad Marchand, his deal, he's staying forever, probably to the end of his career, a Florida Panthers. That trade worked out really well. Also, Canucks have signed the Brock Ness monster, Brock Besser, 7-year contract with a 7.25 AAV, just coming out right now. Now, the Devils have been rumored to be, could they be on the Quinn Hughes sweepstakes? I don't know. It's kind of like the Brady Tkachuk banter that we've had here on the Let's Go Devils podcast. Could it be? Would you want Quinn Hughes on the New Jersey Devils? Interestingly enough, Devils not having a first-round pick in 2025 in the NHL draft, they drafted that one big goaltender that's like 6'8", 6'9" on skates, Trenton pork roll Bennett is what I call him. And then the rest were forwards. The rest were forwards. Devils have a lot of blue liners. A lot of blue liners. Ethan Edwards, I believe, is coming to the organization after his time with Michigan. Also, Seamus Casey, another Michigan alum. You've got Luke Hughes. You got to lock up Luke Hughes long term before you even think about getting Quinn Hughes via trade, or do the Devils wait? Do the Devils wait on that? Changes are being made in Vancouver right now. Dallas Stars also named their new head coach. Going to brutalize his name, Glenn Glutzen. I think that's how you pronounce it. Also, Connor Garland signing 6 years, $6 million AAV with the Vancouver Canucks. Let's see. Ryan Lindgren reportedly signed a 4-year contract with the Seattle Kraken. Lots of news. I love this time of year. There's just so much going on. It's somebody that's just scatterbrained like me, just watching all the news flash up on the screen. But again, the New Jersey Devils right now, it's not a big splash, addressing needs, but it starts with goaltending. Nico Dawes, however, I thought he played decent last season, filling in when Markstrom went out, when Allen was the number one goaltender. And then you put Dawes in there, he played pretty well. His numbers were pretty good. But the Devils have that consistency in net for the second year in a row. This is a good move. Plus, you lock down Allen for a pretty, I think, I was thinking 1 or 2 years, but hey, congratulations, Jake Allen, cashing in when your stock is high. That's what you want to do when you're a free agent. Looking at some other news as well around the league. The Kings are making some, they're making a lot of signings right now. Logan Stankoven signs an 8-year deal, $6 million AAV extension with the Carolina Hurricanes. Rangers sign Gavrikov, 7 years, $7 million AAV. And Jonathan Taves, 1-year deal, signs with the Winnipeg Jets. Hasn't played since the 2022-23 season, battling long COVID. Jonathan Taves, there were rumors that, hey, could the Devils get him at center on the third line center? But no, he's going home. Ted says Lou Lamoriello, build from the goalie out. Well, it's not just Lou Lamoriello. I think a lot of people say that as well. Can Jack Hughes remain healthy? That's a good question. Can Jack Hughes remain healthy? And that same goes with Luke. Health is important. Health is extremely important. I'd rather be lucky and healthy than good, some would say. Alrighty. So, Connor Brown signing with New Jersey. 4-year, $12 million total. As Tom Fitzgerald is rebuilding the bottom six. You're going to see some young players as well. Development camp is on its way. It's going on right now around the league. Yeagerov is in camp. The big goaltender playing at Boston University. Second-round pick. Highly recommended by Marty Brodeur in the draft in 2024. Second-round pick. Kid looks good. Kid looks amazing. Can't wait to, in a few years from now when he comes up. And there's one common theme with all the goaltenders that Tom Fitzgerald has drafted or has traded for. They're all big. They're all 6'4" or taller. Taller than 6'4". 6'6", 6'5", 6'8", 6'9". He likes his big goaltenders. Evan Bouchard signs 4 years, $10.5 AAV deal with the Edmonton Oilers. As more signings are being announced, this is a great time of year. Sometimes, years ago, I guess they used to do these signings and announcements. There was the NHL fax machine. That's where you get all your information. Right now, with all these reporters out there, you can get your information right on X or Blue Sky or wherever on social media. Also, a big shout out to Town Toyota, David Decker in beautiful Ledgewood, New Jersey. Yes, that David Decker, the red guy, big Devils fan, Town Toyota. Hey, if you ever need a Toyota, go to beautiful Ledgewood, New Jersey. Go to Town Toyota off of Route 46 westbound, and just ask for David Decker because he'll hook you up with a Toyota. He's hooked up Toyotas for practically the entire podcast. The other night, I texted him in the middle of the night asking, hey, what's wrong with this Toyota? And he had an answer back within 2 minutes, maybe 3 minutes. He said, yo, it's the cruise control, idiot. I was like, oh, okay, maybe that's why there's this radar ready on the screen. But anyway, if you're going to get a Toyota, go to David Decker in Ledgewood, New Jersey, Town Toyota, and tell him Sam Wu sent you. Also, big shout out to Connie. Connie Cuts is what I call her. Connie's Barbershop in Peapack, New Jersey. She does my hair. She makes me look like a celebrity. Thank you, Connie. And also a big shout out to American Whiskey at 51 Edison Place, across the street from Prudential Center, where it's the official home game bar of the Let's Go Devils podcast. Yeah. Maybe one more shout out. Departed Souls. Yes, Departed Souls in Jersey City. The makers of Crew Brew. Yes, Crew Brew. The official beer of the Let's Go Devils podcast. All right, moving on. Lots of signings. How do you feel about Connor Brown? Let me know on the YouTube, on Twitter. We're going to see if we're going to have a Devils After Dark tonight to kind of recap the first day of free agency. It's not like trade deadline where, okay, there's a deadline and boom, nobody can be traded. It can be ongoing. I mean, remember that free agent frenzy years ago, the one I don't want to remember, when Zach Parise took forever to make a decision? It hits July 1, 12 p.m. Eastern. Zach, are you re-signing with the Devils? I'm torn. And then Ryan Suter signs with the Minnesota Wild. Then July 2nd, July 3rd, and then July 4th. That's when all the free agents have been signed. Zach Parise is like, no, I'm going to Minnesota. Max says hello from beautiful Mexico. Max, how are you doing? How's everything going? I haven't talked to Max in so long. I feel bad. I feel like a bad friend. Max, we're going to have to catch up. I'm going to have to go to Boston and meet up with you. Connor Brown, Fitz is doing best he can with what's remaining. Said the roster would be different. Look, there's nothing wrong with injecting new blood, especially young blood, through the draft. Years ago, case in point, the 1999-2000 Devils. Scott Gomez, John Madden, Brian Rafalski, Colin White, and there were some other young kids. They went out and won the Stanley Cup. Sometimes naive young players that don't know any better outperform veterans. Remember that. Jake the Snake Allen. Connor Brown. Signing with the Devils. Glad that Allen is not leaving. He is Mr. Insurance Policy. I'm sure the Edmonton Oilers got snake bitten here. Also, Ivan Provorov, Columbus Blue Jackets, the BJs, signing a 7-year deal as well. It's going to be interesting. I think next season is going to be interesting. I thought the Devils, for the most part, improved from the previous season. I think the coaching staff is going to be very helpful. I mean, last year it was Sheldon Keefe's first year. Got the team into the playoffs, but in the end, they didn't have the depth. Plus, the injuries mounted, but the goaltending was there. And let's see here. Blah, blah, blah. Anyway. All righty. So, looking at NHL Network. Right now, let's see if there's any new news. But I think I'm going to close the podcast. We're going to have more podcasts later in the day. Max says the Flyers for sure got better. Rangers are such jokes. Matt McCarthy, Grim Punisher, edition of Gritsick, can't be ignored. I'm on the fence about him just because, look, the unknowns kind of scare me a little bit because you simply don't know. In years past, there have been some great unknowns and there's some been duds. Drink and crew brew memories. Yes. That's where we make winning memories together, one crew at a time. All right, going to head out, bounce out. But subscribe to our YouTube channel, Facebook, X, Twitch, for more breaking news. As they come, we're going to keep it here. Keep it real. And hitting the music right now. I found the button, folks. I usually can't find the button. But when there's news breaking, I'll be back on air. All right. Well, sayonara. Maybe we'll see you tonight. Till next time, let's go Devils.